Hi, for today's video, I'm going to share something that's come up for me, which is inspired by this. Do you see that one? Well, one single action makes a big ripple. One single word, one single conversation, one single agreement that you make or you keep or that you don't keep can alter everything. And so what does that have to do with the dandelion and blowing the dandelion, the seeds dispersing? Well, because that's how it is in life. Sometimes we know the ramifications of the actions we're going to take, and sometimes, almost always, we don't. The ripples of people, the ripple of relationships, ideas seeded through time, sometimes going back to grandparents and great-grandparents and further than that, alter who we think we are and how we think, how we speak, how we act. What I've watched today is people behaving in a way that makes sense for them. But I'm also clear that the paradigm they're thinking inside of is so not the whole story. Now, I've come to understand that my information may be incomplete, it may be inaccurate, and be okay with that and inquire and come from a place of inquiry and communication. In fact, that's really my first agreement I make with clients, with partners, and even actually working with, and even building a real relationship in my personal life. Now is to have this base agreement of to stay in communication when it works in a workable fashion. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm right or they're wrong and I'm wrong. It actually means we have a place of inquiry and think into that space, inquire into that space, and come from the fact that the core, there is a shared value system, there is a shared humanity behind the conversation. A lot of people right now are purely in, what can I sell you? How can I sell that to you? What's the thing? And the truth of it is you do need to make sales transactions in the world. When you watch this, you're investing your time in watching this video. That makes sense, right? We do that. But how and why to do that, and how to think bigger picture while also handling the small things that are required to be handled on a daily basis is vital. And like the dandelion, when you blow that seed, you never know where it's going to end up. I had a client a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago now, who when I first met them, they donated £1 to our charity. That client became a partner of ours, spent years with us, and altered everything about how we think, speak and act in the area of the UK around the health service. Now, another client came from a £5 web app I had at the time, and they didn't actually use it. They had a concern about it, but that turned into a coaching client and helping her upscale her business. Now, I'm not saying this to pitch business, I'm saying because those things that I saw happen, the pattern, as you want to call it, or you might see it, was that a small action can often ripple over time. Now, the challenge is we can get very concerned about standing up for ourselves and being clear, this is working, this isn't. And it's okay to have that judgment, to be angry, to be scared, to have emotions. I don't think being a robot's what being a human's all about. But learning to distinguish between the emotion and what's going on, learning to distinguish between somebody and their behavior, I think that's vital. And also understanding that a lot of the people who are great marketers, that are well positioned, well branded, that is not the whole story of who they are. That really isn't. And at the moment, more than ever, I'm seeing advertising and marketing from people who some have great value to add. And some, if I'm honest, I don't really encourage people to learn what they're teaching because it doesn't really work the way they say. They're doing what we would call unethical business practices. I'm going to name them, I think you know what I'm pointing at. And you might even think that other people you know are like that. But that's nobody's intent. I don't think we want to work that way. I think the challenge is we're learning a new paradigm for life and business. And the challenge is you might have some amazing value that nobody knows about. And I know that's thousands of people I've met over the last decade have that challenge. They're incredibly insightful, valuable people that can really make a difference to people, but nobody knows who they are, what they do, and how to engage with them. And also the people that might most need their help are often the ones that have a financial challenge, have some issues around that, therefore they cannot afford to invest the money, the time, the energy, the resources to actually engage with those people properly. To give you a grounded example, that dandelion, it doesn't mean I blow it and you get 100 dandelions today. That isn't how that works. You blow it, 1 or 2 of those seeds may land. 1 or 2 of those seeds may actually grow and become further dandelions, depending on where they land and the environment. Mum earlier talked about how today it's a sunny day, a little bit of chill in the air. That alters things. And being aware of the subtleties is really important. So how does that impact somebody going to start up in business or resetting their business right now? Well, that's another video. But hopefully you get a sense that there's more going on than you may see when you click play on a video, send a text, and it's okay for us, I think, to have that. We have to be generous with our listening, actually stay open to communication, even when it might be a bit challenging, but equally be willing to say, no, this isn't okay, when it isn't. but while being open to, I'm open to hearing your feedback, your input appropriately. And that appropriateness is very personal to you. And the truth of it is we've trained our environments sometimes for years and decades up to this point. So this was quite a quick video now, quite a long video. I'll see you tomorrow. See you soon. Bye for now.